Next chapter is coordination compounds. Before discussing coordination compounds, we already discussed in D block elements that most of D block elements form complex compounds. These complex compounds now known as coordination compounds. What are the basic examples of coordination compounds from daily life? That chlorophyll, vitamin B12, hemoglobin. These are the some examples. More examples are also there, but these are the basic example. All of you know that chlorophyll, vitamin B12 and hemoglobin. These are the coordination compounds. Now very important conceptual question arise from here, or 1 mark question may be asked from here. Chlorophyll is a coordination compound, and what is the central metal atom in chlorophyll, and what is the central metal atom in vitamin B12, and what is the central metal atom in hemoglobin. For hemoglobin, central metal atom is iron. For vitamin B12, central metal atom is cobalt. For chlorophyll, central metal atom is magnesium. So these are the some basic examples of coordination compound. Now what are the coordination compounds? These are the complex compound in which metal atom is associated with one or more than one type of ligand atoms or molecules or ions. Now firstly, these coordination compounds were discussed by a scientist, that is Alfred Werner, and he gave a theory that is known as Werner theory. And what are the postulates of this Werner theory? According to Alfred Werner, that central metal atom show two types of valency. One is primary valency and second one is secondary valency. All of you know about that valency. According to Werner, valency are of two types. One is primary, another one is secondary. Now what is the difference between these primary and secondary valency? I am going to explain this with one example, that CONS3 6 Cl3 is given to you. This is a coordination compound. Here CO, cobalt, this is the central metal atom. This NS3O6, NS3 is ligands, and this chloride ion Cl3 is counter ions. If we consider example of a simple salt, that cobalt chloride CoCl3, then this undergo dissociation to form cobalt 3 plus ion plus 3 Cl negative ions. These 3 chloride ions are known as primary valency, and these 6 ammonia ligands are known as secondary valency. From this example, these 3 chloride ions are known to show primary valency, and these 6 ammonia ions to show secondary valency. Now what is the difference between primary and secondary valency? Primary valency is shown by the ions which are negatively charged ions. They are ionizable. Secondary valency is shown by ions, atoms or molecules which are negatively charged or may be neutral. And this secondary valency is non-ionizable. And this primary valency is ionizable. Now, what are the postulates of Werner? Every metal in coordination compound show two types of valency. One is primary valency and another one is secondary valency. Primary valency is satisfied by negatively charged ions, and these ions are ionizable. Secondary valency is satisfied by negatively charged ions of neutral atom or molecules, and these are non-ionizable. These are the postulates of Werner. Now, what is the use of this Werner theory? On the basis of this Werner theory, if that molecular formula of a complex is given to you, then we can predict the structure of that coordination compound. For example, that CONS3 6Cl3 is given to you. Now it is asked that which one act as a primary valency and which one act as a secondary valency, and you have to predict that structure of coordination compound. Then two methods we can follow. One is we can add a electrolyte. Another one we can do the ionization, or we can do the electrolysis. After that, how much ions are produced? Or we can say that what is the electrical conductivity? What is the value of electrical conductivity of solution? On the basis of that, we can predict the structure of this complex. First, we are going to discuss the addition of electrolyte. What are the possibility here? In CONS3 6Cl3 is given to you. We add AgNO3 in excess. in excess. Then what happens? First situation arise, we obtain 3 moles of AgCl as PPT. Second situation arise, in the same compound we add AgNO3 in excess. In second case, we obtain 2 mole of AgCl as PPT. Third case, again we add AgNO3 in excess, then we obtain only 1 mole of AgCl as PPT. Fourth case, we can consider that we add again AgNO3 in excess and there is no AgCl PPT. No PPT formation. Then how can we predict the structure of this complex? See here, AgNO3 react with this complex and form AgCl. Formation of AgCl is possible only when this complex release Cl negative ion. This Cl negative ion combined with Ag plus, because AgNO3 undergo dissociation in Ag plus and NO3 negative. So this Ag plus combined with Cl negative and form AgCl. In first situation, 3 AgCl we obtain, or we can say that 3 mole of AgCl we obtain. It means all the 3 Cl negative get dissociated. Only the ions which are present outside the square bracket in a given structure undergo dissociation. So here Cl3 is present outside that square bracket. That's why it reacts with AgNO3. Excess of AgNO3 is given to you, then it will form 3 AgCl. Because all the 3 Cl are present outside the bracket, so they can easily get dissociate to form CONS3 3 plus 3 Cl negative ions. These 3 Cl negative ions combine with Ag plus and form 3 AgCl. Second case, only 2 AgCl we obtain. 2 AgCl we obtain, it means only 2 chloride ions are present outside the square bracket and 1 is present inside. So CONS3, that 6, here coordination number is 6. So NS3 5 is present inside and 1 Cl. 1 NS3 is present outside and 2 chloride ions Cl2. Then it will react with AgCl. Sorry, AgNO3 in excess and it will form 2 AgCl. Why 2 AgCl? Because only 2 chloride ions it will give on dissociation. Third case, only 1 mole of AgCl we obtain. It means only 1 chloride ion is outside. Then CONS3 4 Cl2. Here ammonia molecules 2, NS3 2 and CS. Last, there is no AgCl formation. No AgCl CHCl formation means all the 3 chloride ions are present inside the square bracket. So for last one, structure of complex is CONS3 thrice Cl3. Now 3 NS3 are present outside. This is the structure. So on the basis of PPT formation, when we add electrolyte in a given coordination compound, on the basis of that we can predict the structure of a given complex. Another thing, on the basis of electrical conductivity, CuNS3, same example we can take, or another example we can take, CuNS3 6 Cl2 or Cl3 is given to you. Now if this compound undergo dissociation, then it will form CuNS3 6, here 2 plus 2 Cl negative. Now how many total ions are there? 1 this and 2 this. 2 chloride ions, total 3. So the conductivity is equal to 3 ions. If the conductivity is equal to 2 ions, then structure of complex will become like this, Cl. Now only one Cl is present outside. This one undergo dissociation to form 2 ions, CuNS3 5 Cl, this one plus Cl negative ion. Only 2 ions are present here, one positive and one negative. So total 2 ions are given to you. So the conductivity in first case is more and in second case is less. Another CuNS3 thrice Cl3. All the 3 chloride ions are present inside. Now in this case there is no dissociation, 0 ions. There is no formation of ions, only simple complex is present there. With increase in number of ions, conductivity increase. With a decrease in number of ions, conductivity decrease. So on the basis of electrical conductivity value, or on the basis of how much moles of PPT are formed, on the basis of that we can predict the structure of a given complex.